What's poppin', everyone? It's your boy Levi, and we are back for Tracking the Pros episode 2. This is Play Like a Pro, where you play like a pro player, or at least learn how to. Nice seeing you guys in the chat again. Saw a few of you here from last week when we did a coaching tutorial type thing. So I'm excited to see you guys here again for more of a, like, kind of the same kind of content, but a little bit different. Today we're going to be looking at Strikxer. He's currently playing ECHION, although he's known for playing a bunch of characters, especially in ranked. And the theme of this is going to be like a little bit of a contrast to when we did Frankie's episode. In Frankie's, we looked at how to kind of keep your mastery up, a little bit avoiding transitions and scaling into the late game based on farm. This will be more so about how to go for transitions while still keeping your mastery up, but avoiding like fights that you can't take so that you can make it to a high placing finale, so to say. So I got 3 games queued up again, same as we do last time. As you know, this series doesn't have a model because it's a lot to try and keep track of while spectating, but super excited to look at some games though. We don't have very many ECHION players too, so it's nice to get a change of characters. How are you guys doing today though? Okay, first things first, immediately starting off, we're going to run to the bottom. Well, not the bottom, but like the left side loot distribution. This is so that we can get to Uptown quicker. Doing good, started commission work again, so I'm here relaxing while I do that. Awesome, that's good to hear. Commission Jinx, everybody. The early game is going to be more the same as we always talk about. It's just getting your build online. If there's anything important, I'll point it out. I'll try and keep my mouse mostly off screen. Watch Levi Nodders. ECHION's got a little bit of a tankier build. This is a like Crusader's Sheath build, I think, from what I'm familiar with. Kind of similar to a few of like the Bruiser builds that we see. Gonna grab branches here, making sure it's along the path going to the Hyperloop instead of going out of his way for it. Even though he doesn't have the... Oh no, he does have the Windbreaker. Is this Mamba? I believe this first game is Mamba, yes. And I didn't put my phone on silent. Let me do that. I also want to point out he's got 2 sets of shoes here. I'm pretty sure that's going to be one for feather boots and one for white rhinos. He's building both of them en route. I would imagine that's to hold the slot for blade boots transition. Building 2 shoes is common on a lot of paths, especially alley paths, alley uptown paths. And it looks like this is going to be a tree contest build for the Mamba upgrade. We got burgers for food. ECHION doesn't really need SP too much. Boiling water is probably enough. It's gonna run into a Chiara. Still needs leather for his boots. He's managing his passive well too. Gonna eat the E and the ult. Double dash out. Okay, I think that's really interesting, and I'm gonna say that's intentional. So I think because he knows that he's going to get a dash reset when his passive turns, I think he kind of took the E from Chiara, trying to force her to all in. That way, when he gets the dash reset on his passive, he can double dash through the boar. And now Chiara doesn't have ult for this tree contest. So I'm going to call that an intentional play. Baiting out the ult to try and make this fight a little bit easier. And like, look, she has 14 seconds still on her ult. Like, this is a free tree. Might even be a kill if you can get it in time. Good dodge there. Good dodge on the E there. Yeah, he definitely ate that E intentionally then, if he's sidestepping abilities like that. And look, Chiara gets her ult now. She's already half health, like even just under half health and no SP. Now, this is a little close, but here's the reactivate. Definitely a little bit closer than he probably wanted, but I'm going to call that an intentional play. And there's the tree upgrade for Mamba. And he's got quiver prep too. Still needs a leather for White Ranos. Pilot confusion to the rescue, yep. There's a Piolo here. Now, this is a pretty good fight, I imagine, for ECHION. Yeah, gets his passive instantly. It's already stronger because he's been taking the hunts here. Gets the dash into the ult too. That's a free kill. Yeah. Piolo probably shouldn't have engaged that. Started the fight a mastery down. ECHION already has his upgrade too. It's pretty strong at this point. We'll look to see what he does next. If he goes to Alpha, we have Alpha spawning in Avenue, and we have battle zones in Alley, Uptown, and Factory. Possible offensive zone battle zone? It's gonna be free. There's no one here. I would imagine he goes the offensive zone if he is taking the battle zone. It looks like it. This build is pretty tanky. Battlesuit, sheath, Crusader's helmet. I don't think you need much more survivability than that. Probably the offensive battle zone just to help out with the damage. And there's the Mithril, and we're going to see Myth Quiver come out here. 2 transitions, day 2. Pretty good. One of them is kind of needed, so 1.5 transitions, really. And we're going to return to Chapel. Now, we took some of the hunts here before Semtree came online, so returning to his hunt rotation to pick them back up. Cemetery, Factory, Chapel is a pretty good path for daytime hunts. A lot of the boars are here. They're going to be respawning. There's actually tons of hunts in these zones. A little bit slow on the wolves here though. Probably because he stopped off in Chapel. And I think that's a pretty good example of one thing I talked about in one of my hunting videos, was that as you get into higher elos, like that 11 wasn't the one that took wolves, right? Like the Chiara was. But that 11 knew the timing just from like being an experienced player. And like they continued their hunt route into hospital. So like you definitely have to be right at the hunt when it spawns as you get to higher elos to be able to take them. Might see him walk into ISIL here. It's probably not a winning matchup. Gets the Q. There's the E-dash out. It's up in health. Kind of recognizes that he's not going to win that fight with the overheat from assault rifle. That's really good discipline there. He started off winning that height, even got into melee range of him with the double dash, but pulled out when he saw the healing drone and the overheat. It's a really smart play there. Doesn't need to force it, so he just leaves. Hope you're having a good day too, Feline. Thanks for coming out.
One less inconvenience for you.
TP in the Avenue here. Probably going to be for Meteorite. Imagine this is going to be for Blade Boots. Needs the healing reduction to fight the ISIL, as we just saw. Just constant fighting though on this character. Just gonna get into a fight with Haze over this Meteorite, I see. If that was me, I probably would have fought and died. Yeah, me too. I'm notorious for forcing bad fights. Good dodging on the ult. Doesn't really have a way into Haze though. He's gonna get his dash stopped by W. Is that chicken around? No, that chicken's dead too. He doesn't really have an animal to go to. As long as Haze keeps distance. There's the double dash onto the Haze. And the bat's here. That's unfortunate too. Hayes unfortunately had to go into temple there with Alley being red. Unfortunate that the bat is up there. She doesn't really have much option though. Like once you let ECHION get back close to you with the double dash, there's not really good peeling tools for Hayes. If she had her knockback, maybe she like lives there. I don't think she return kills, but not much she could really do there. That was good patience though by Strikxer. He didn't like brute force his way in, waited for his moment, and then got himself in. Yeah, I don't particularly know what this character does either, Feline, but we're gonna try and make it work. The whole point of this is to learn. Grabs the rocks. Is this for the meteorite? We gonna see a moonstone item? We are. We're gonna see Cube Watch. Interesting. Okay. So that's kind of similar to Blade Boots. He's prioritizing shield reduction before healing reduction. And I mean, I think Cube Watch is just a better item than Blade Boots personally. Cube Watch is kind of strong. Doesn't get the hunts in Avenue. Wants to be at Omega, I'm assuming is here. Yeah, Omega's here. Wants to be there on time. Good bow or crossbow skill by the Nadine to stop his dash. He might still run her down though. Has passive, so he's just gonna take Omega. Now he's 3 transitions, 3 kills here. So Omega is definitely the play, and with the battle zone win. And that's the Guardian Suit upgrade. So that'll help with basic attacks. That's pretty good in this lobby. He's got a Daniel, a Nadine, and an Isol to deal with. And an 11. Guardian Suit, very good choice here. He's going to check the bears. I don't think he needed to. I think you can infer that if there's a Nadine here in daytime, they probably took the bears the night before. It's going to grab the blue chest for food though, so maybe they just wanted that. Wick in a minute and a half. Let's see what we do up until then. Gonna head into forest. That shoot guy probably took the hunts. That's not like something he would know though. I think going to forest here is probably the play. Usually there's hunts here in day. Yeah, gonna see that most of the zone has been cleared out. That bat just respawned and he's gonna get 1 boar, so not a complete waste of time. In these newer seasons, 14 mastery heading into Wick has kind of been like the play. Obviously you want to be like 17, 16, 17, but a lot of these lobbies get to, with more to do, there's like less just hunting around and farming. If you're trying to get some LoL friends to play, what are some things you tell them? Trying to get some of my boys on this game for real. I think like it's a little toxic, but the general consensus is that like if you feel like your team is holding you back, there is solos mode. So that's like kind of the big one. We do see ECHION swap the blade boot or to white rhinos here for Wick. Probably to get the HP regen, be a little bit more tankier. Is here nice and early. Got vision. Charged his passive up on the boar a bit. And this is gonna be a free Wick. Yeah, you also don't have to worry about any junglers. This is very nice. Hi Clue, how's it going? Are you in this? Oh, you are in this game, Clue. Gonna pick up blood there. That's gonna be for red shoes. And maybe we'll see him call in a fourth core here. We have 136 credits to work with. Has the hairband, so that's likely gonna be Halo if he does. I think another thing is that like the combat is very similar to League combat. Everyone that I've talked to says that like this game kind of feels like PUBG with League. I've never played PUBG, but I do feel like the League combat's similar. It's a little bit faster paced though. Another blue box, pick up the food. And we do have gold boxes spawning here in Avenue and Temple. We'll see if he looks to defend one of them. He's got Wick buff, strongest in the lobby currently. Definitely should be going to one. Then there's Halo. What times of days do rank queues pop? If you're playing in NA, typically around 9 p.m. Eastern and later. If you're playing in EU, look for Jinx's answer.
One bad move and you might get caught.
So yeah, we're here in Temple. We're gonna get this gold box. As you can see with that shoot guy, he can basically just int into anybody he wants. He's that strong with Wick buff, and he's got such a tanky build. Not going to be able to get the one in Avenue, but that's fine. We still got one box. Very good. And let's take this time real quick to do a inventory check. So yeah, Halo's really good for the shoot guys. He's got Halo for the shoot guys and Guardian suit for pretty much everyone else. So we have food in the inventory as we chase down this Nadine. He might actually just run this Nadine down. But I always talk about you need food, SP if you're a character that needs SP. He's got the EMP drone from Omega that he picked up. That'll be good for ISIL. Doesn't have any cameras yet, but I imagine that we'll see him call some in. And we don't have any traps yet. I'm not sure how well ECHION uses traps though. Look at this Nadine. She's doing no damage to him. She got him to like a quarter, like 3/4 health. That was it. Pretty accurate. Played League for years, and this is the closest alternate game I found with such a nice feeling, combat, itemization, level grinding. That's nice to hear. I'm glad you're making a pretty smooth transition then. Picked up the Lunar from Nadine. See if he takes that. Yeah, he's gonna take that over Myth Quiver.
One bad move.
Yeah, then Nadine fell over. Another gold box here in Forest. And there's the camera calling. Okay, so good. We have food, we have SP, we're making EMPs now too. Perfect for the ISIL. Definitely something you want to always do if you have someone that's probably going to use traps in your lobby. They're good to have, even though you don't know who's going to get stuff from purple boxes either. Nobody has to be a meta slave because everyone is viable. Yeah, it's pretty good that like there's also no reason, like there's no downside other than like a few specific tournaments to like not one trick this game. So if you don't feel like you have to play a lot of characters if you don't want to. We're gonna head into Avenue here. We still have 6 people left.
Check if there's any out there.
You're doing well this game, Clue. You got 3 kills. You're top 5. You made it sound like this wasn't a good game for you. Coming up on 11 here. 2 mastery lead. 11 pops the alt E for the instant escape. Ekion's still just gonna run her down. Look how fast he is. Gonna force her into red.
Time to fix all this mess.
Sees her on daytime scan, knows that she went back around. Is she gonna try and loop? I don't know how much timer she has, but I don't think... Yeah, she's got 20 seconds. Ekion's stalking her out though. Just watch the tragedy that happens. Oh god. $11, you're gonna have to make a play here. Spots her out with the cam. She's gonna try and jump around and walk inside. Actually doesn't make it over the wall. Okay. Took a little bit too much time. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Gonna call in some more cameras again. Here's the drone from the Shukai. Knows he's there. Gonna take a lot to take down this Shukai, though. I don't think that's gonna be an all-in. Has to conserve his passive a little bit. And is gonna have the ABC angle, though, so we should see him leave at 50 seconds to optimize the ABC. We also see him call in food here, which is good because he definitely needs food for this final zone. Yeah, there it is. He leaves at 50 seconds, 1 second different. Well, there's Clue going down. This looks to be a dead ISO too. Has enough cameras. And that's unfortunate there. Really quickly though, I want to point out something for this ABC angle. First of all, how to find a game in rank. I want to up LP, but every time I want to find a ranked game, it's eternal searching. Queue at night if you're NA. Oh, you're EU. Yeah. I guess best bet would be queue around 7 or 8 p.m. CEST, but I wish you the best. Rank grinds can be a little bit tough. So about this ABC, right? So we see our checklist. So first of all, we have Strikxer leaving with 1 second difference from his red zone timer to his game timer. That's the first step of an ABC. And we see him do that with 50 seconds. He's gonna head down this way. Let me get my pen out. You guys know I love my pen. So we're gonna see him E over this wall because the distance to get to the final zone over here is gonna be quicker. And I think he's thinking that people are gonna be less expectant if he comes this way instead of up through the door at the top. Explain ABC for the people who don't know what the hell it means. Yeah, sure. So ABC is just when you have a final zone. It's typically used for third partying as well, but the way I use it is for a final zone when you have multiple players in one zone and one player in another zone. So when you're safe like this in another zone and you know other players are fighting in this zone, A, because it turns purple, or B, just because you know there's more players in the game, you can start heading over to this zone when your timer, your red zone timer is like higher than this game timer left. And I will switch back to ECHION so that it is higher. So because he has 51 seconds and there's only 50 seconds left in the game, it will make it so that he will never head boom when this day switches to day 5 or day 6 morning, and then you get 20 seconds or so before the final zone hits anyway, so it's not like you're gonna head explode. It's just you want to leave as soon as possible so you can optimize how much time you have to third party this zone. The only other thing is specifically with this game though, is that because he left right on time, I think he hears the ice will tumble over this wall, and that's how he knows that there's a fight going on here. Which is, if he had left any later, that wouldn't have happened. Like he would just have to keep going this way because he wouldn't know that they're fighting back here until he got the cameras. And the other thing, like this kill here happens because he didn't force that fight in cemetery. If he had forced that fight in cemetery and died, like his game's over. But he ran away from that fight despite it looking like he was kind of winning it at the start, and is able to get the kill. And I think it's really good when players get rewarded for making good plays like that. We're gonna watch Clue die because apparently some tragedy happens to him. But sorry, Clue.
It's important to avoid them. Hurry up and finish this so we can grab a drink.
Is this just timer? No, that's not that bad, Clue. You made it sound like you were gonna you're gonna get like destroyed or something. Anyways, finds the Shukai. It's just a 1v1 left, and there's not really anything Shukai can do. He doesn't have ult here. That's our first win. So really good discipline out of that game. That shows that how basically wait for your fights, take them when you can, and you will be rewarded, assuming you play it right later. Squads and duo harder than solo? I think it's just preference. I personally think squads and duos are harder than solo, but I also just don't really like squads and duos. I'm more of a solos player. I love playing against Eternal Q. He's a great sport. Yeah, we love NA Boomer in this house. One day he's gonna wreak havoc on NA once he plays in more than 10 FPS. I don't know if he plays in 10 FPS, but he records in 10 FPS. Game 2, this one's a different build. It's the builds are in the pinned comment of the chat, by the way. This is the second build. And we're starting off in hotel this time.
Give me a bottle of good liquor.
And this is also on Death Adder instead of Black Mamba. I don't really play ECHION, so I can't really tell you why you would go one in one lobby and why you'd go one in a different lobby, other than the fact that that's what he did this game. Yeah, he does have a YouTube channel. It's just highlights though of like him playing, and they're all in like 10 FPS. It's like really funny. Death Adder freaks you out? To play against or to play? You go Death Adder and stat checking matchups or ones you have the burst, I believe. Okay, interesting. Not too much different in the early game. It's just getting your build online again. He's on a slightly different route. We went Hotel Pond, setting up to go Avenue. So he went up instead of down from his spawn. Like versus Leon, it's basically impossible to lose. Oh, interesting. Slightly different build this time too. He's got tuxedo instead of battle suit. I guess that makes sense considering Death Adder. And it looks like he's going for white. Well, looks like he's going for white rhinos instead of feather boots. And we can see Frankie's here in Avenue as well. If you missed my episode 1, we did a Play Like a Pro review for Frankie. And as we can see, he's still doing the same route that we talked about. And if you missed that, I highly recommend to go check that out after the stream. A lot of really good information in that one. Really proud of how that one turned out. I just want to play duo or squads, but can't find people, which playing this game in my country and my English pretty bad to communicate with others. I think in the main Eternal Return Discord, there is a channel for looking for teammates. That might be a little bit helpful. TP in the factory here. Looks like we're gonna get the meteorite contest this game instead of tree for Death Adder. We're gonna have the fight with the 11 from last game too. No ult coming out for 11 yet. I imagine this is probably 11 favored early. Oh, I don't know. That did a lot of damage actually. Maybe not. Especially with the healing reduction on the white rhinos for the burgers. This might actually be ECHION favor. A little bit of emote trolling. Leanne's here too. We just talked about the Leanne matchup. I imagine this is definitely not Leanne favored. Leanne Knight 1 objectives are a little tough because she can't take it while transformed. And she's also not really strong enough to contest it without her form. Or at all even. Yeah, Leanne contesting a day 1 meteorite. A little bit troll, but... yeah, she's kind of getting rolled. Felix is here too. Looking for the third party. There's the Leanne ult. Yeah. Strikxer just gonna heal up and then probably enter back in for the meteorite. This is so cursed for Leanne because she has to wait for her form to come out. She has to pick between like trying to survive and getting the meteorite. This is also like the longest meteor take ever. We're gonna miss battle zone at this point too. It's literally just anti-synergy. Just wait out the transformation again and then... oh, she forward and didn't get the reset. She definitely dies here. Yeah, still without ult too. Oh, that's a dead Leanne. This skin reminds you of Kathy? I can see it. Meteorite there is going to miss out on the battle zone though, just because of the long fight. Long drawn out fight, but is going to get the upgrade. TP into Uptown, is that where Alpha is? Yeah, Alpha's here. Other ECHION is on it. Gonna see an ECHION mirror match? Or is he just gonna dip over the wall? Yeah, is gonna get out in time. Is on the hunt though. Sees that the other ECHION has used passive. We might see if him chase us down actually. It's gonna pop his. Gonna get the double dash on the bat. There's one, there's two, and yeah, actually gonna catch up. Other ECHION triggers the bat, or the dog. Yeah. Even without the passive just running out. Definitely needed to run. I saw the vision of like the turn there for a little bit, but not able to get it. Gonna get a Shukai soup and a Mithril off that. And I think that was Sidewinder ECHION, the other ECHION. I don't know how good Sidewinder is, but I can't see now, but... yeah, Alpha Sidewinder. Interesting. Don't see that too often. That Mithril, I would imagine, goes to Myth Armor. We're going to see him walk up into Archery, probably for the hunts and for the Myth Armor components. I forget what the cloth... is it cloth? Fabric Armor? I think it's called. You know of any good Isaac mains or anything? He's my favorite character and there's tons of content I can find for him. Or there's not tons of content I can find for him. I know Strikxer plays a lot of Isaac. I think that was his main last season. But in terms of like content creators, I'm not too sure. Not of any like ones that main Isaac at the very least. There's a few that pull them out on occasion. I know Astereo's been playing a little bit of Isaac lately. I don't know if they stream though.
One bad move and you might get caught.
Moving into alley here. He's gonna check for the bears, see that they're already gone. Check for the wolves, they're gone too. And it's just gonna leave. It's a good smart play here. Just not even bother with the other hunts. He knows that they've been taken recently. Doesn't need to check them all to make sure that they're dead, and then moves on to hospital for hospital tree. I think the Shukai got the tree. We're gonna see a rematch with the Haze. Well, I think the Haze is gonna go down again to the ECHION. This is the same Haze too. A little unfortunate when you turn the corner and there's an ECHION right in your face as Haze. It's already too close again to be able to peel him off. Picks up the mithril dress. That's gonna be credits. That's such a tough matchup for Haze. She just doesn't have the tools anymore. And is that another Force Core? Yeah, another Force Core call-in. Why did she pull the rocket out? Probably either muscle memory or like... does it slow still? Or is it just like damage? Yeah, it slows still, but it's definitely not going to be enough. I don't think it quite mattered regardless what she did. Auto arms comes out here. And we didn't see ECHION in the battle zone because of the Leanne fight, so we'll see him go battle zone now. He's got his Force Core already, so doesn't need a Mega. We'll probably get one from this battle zone too. It's the attack zone, so same as last time. Double mutant bears here. That's gonna be a ton of XP. That's probably worth popping passive for. Ton of XP. Unfortunate TP from Felix right on his head. Opts to fight it anyway though. It's gonna be close. Well, good dodges. I think Felix goes down here too. Yeah, he got his dash canceled. So a little unfortunate, a little greedy too. I think the play was probably to run away there, but didn't want to give up the bears. It is a battle zone too, so maybe you just go for the bear XP. Respawn here in alley. This is a good respawn because we saw him walk into alley before hospital, and he saw that the hunts were just taken. So at least now when he comes back to alley, he knows at least the wolves are up. The bears will be respawning probably halfway into the day, but the wolves will be up very soon.
One less inconvenience for you.
After he got that dash into the bear, probably would have been better to dip. Yeah, I think so. I think he just leaves and goes to one of the drones and plays the battle zone. It's a little unfortunate that that spawn is still in the bear pit, but it's one of the more riskier bear zones. And there's the wolves. Three transitions on day 3 is still pretty good. Gonna make some food here. Take the bears, and then I imagine it's gonna be another wick. Another wick angle. Yeah, the Felix played that pretty good with the E dodges. Not gonna check that bear? Oh, there's a tree on that bear. Or something.
One less inconvenience for you. You still have a long way to go.
We have wicks spawning in cemetery. So yeah, grabs both bears. We'll see a TP. Probably in the cemetery to get vision ready for it. TP's in the forest, actually, right on a Luke. Trying I guess for maybe the wolves. I don't really know what the play is here with Wick spawning. Takes the wolves. Oh, I think he thought the Wick was in forest because he walked up to the gate. Tree on the wolves is nice, but a little unfortunate. Probably either misclicked forest or read. Actually, he's probably more likely to have read it wrong and thought it was coming to forest. Walks to some. Might get there in time. How quick's this Daniel taking it? Well, Daniel's actually dying to it. Daniel might have to pull off. He either saw Wick or either saw ECHION on the cams or is just straight dying to it, and it's gonna be a free Wick. Yeah. Is there a way to check where Wick will spawn if you miss it at the 1 minute mark? Yep. If you open up this like scoreboard, it'll tell you up here where it's spawning, and it also says it in the chat. I believe the default is tab to open it. Not entirely sure. So we're gonna see red shoes. He's got blood, a meteorite, and a tree. Daniel engages. That's a lot of damage coming from Daniel, actually. There's a Q again. That's an RE. Also hold the ult. There's a Q, and then there's the ult. Ult didn't do too much damage. And there's the double dash out. Really close there to going down. I think the Daniel misplayed that a little bit, though. Yeah, there'll also be like a little green mark on the research center right here that'll show her that she's spawning there. Really quickly though, I want to go look at that Daniel fight again because I think the Daniel misplayed it there. Yeah, right here. Daniel Q's to consume the mark and then immediately ults in. And I think that's a little bit of a misplay. I'm not too big of a Daniel player. If Clue's still here, maybe he can vouch. But I think that if you... Because he like consumes the mark with his Q and then ults, he doesn't get like the attack speed benefit from the scissors. I think it's better if he just like raw ults, because I'm pretty sure you can raw ult there because he is inspired. So that you can, when you pop out, you can then scissors, consume the mark, and then get your attack speed bonus. It's like he gets 1 auto there, and I think if he has the attack speed bonus, he gets like 2. Yeah, he also got the Crusader shield, which helps a lot. Which I guess he gets the autos again here with the second pair of scissors, but I think it's like... I don't know, I think that's killable there. Obviously, this E is unfortunate. He is towards the wall instead of towards the ECHION. But I think there's definitely a kill angle there. And I think Daniel also assumes that he ended up walking all the way around, which is kind of funny.
One less inconvenience for you.
So that's going to be red shoes and gonna see Laurel, I think, instead of Halo.
Bad move and you might get caught.
Yeah, there's Laurel, and then I imagine we'll see Myth Quiver again.
That side looks more interesting. One less inconvenience for you.
So day scan just hit, and he probably sees Daniel and Felix near this gold box. Probably can't see if they're fighting, but he can kind of infer that if that gold box hasn't been taken, like as he's walking over there, it probably means that they're fighting. He's gonna stop to take some hunts first. Didn't really get a good chance to contest it because he was pushed in the red and had to heal and make his transitions. But I think at this point now, you would assume that since it's still there, they're probably fighting. Yeah, and there's the third party angle. And takes down Daniel.
No drink.
Not much Daniel can do there. He had the opportunity to kill him earlier. Dies for it. That's how much mistakes punish you. It's gonna get a gold box here. It's another laurel, so not usable. That'll be turned into credits. I'm surprised he kind of didn't chase after the Felix as well. Maybe there's a little bit of distance. He got the Chain of Thorns too. Yeah. I mean, that item is kind of nuts. I don't know how better it is than auto arms if you've already have red shoes. Maybe he's holding on to it in case he changes his boots out. Maybe if he gets like Thorns plus Smith boots or something. Yeah, it's been talked about for a little while to make Research Center accessible. I don't know what the plan is for that. I think we're looking for Felix here. I think that's why we ran away from these bears and kind of just ran in a circle. I do like that he's not wasting his wick buff with just farming hunts, and he is looking for people. He's also curing periodically to try and keep his passive up, so he is ready for a fight. JP is also coming at some point, hopefully. Is gonna see Felix walk back into Uptown on the cams. Is gonna head back into him. Yeah, he's definitely trying to hunt this Felix down. I don't know if he would have saw him on this camera though. Maybe Felix stuck by. Yeah, it doesn't look like he knew where he went, so. This is like excessive hunting. Which I guess he feels like he probably can't take hunts off the chance that it like triggers his passive. Forest final zone here. If we do our inventory check, yeah, there it is. So we have food, SP, and cameras again. It's no EMPs this time, but maybe they build traps. Lennox might. Maybe we'll see him call EMPs in a bit, but gonna head to the top zone. I think he sees the Isaac kind of like stuck up here with the Felix kind of like camping it, so he knows there's gonna be a fight soon. He's keeping his passive up again.
One less inconvenience for you.
And there's the kill, so he knows that the Isaac's trapped up here. That's gonna be another kill. It just auto attacks him. It doesn't even use any abilities. And I think we'll see ECHION chill for a bit here because it's pretty dangerous to like hang around without your passive. OBS disconnected, reconnecting. Hello, is my OBS breaking?
Isn't this too narrow for a fight? Well,
Okay.
I'm not the one
Apparently we're back. I got a notification saying my OBS dropped. We have the ABC angle again. We'll see him leave with 50 seconds, same time as last time. Looks like Luke's getting pushed out in the other zone. That was interesting. Did he not see the Luke? I feel like you would have saw the Luke, especially with the camera there. Hold on. I'm gonna go back and we're gonna toggle his vision because I think he should have seen the Luke there. So right now he can't see anything. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, he can definitely see this Luke here. And we know that he's not like looking at this final square because he eased the wolves. So he can definitely see. Oh, I don't know about that. That might be the This might be the good old NA handshake right here. Interesting. You know what? I won't accuse anyone of teaming. I think maybe, yeah, I thought his camera might be farther down, but we saw him eat the wolves. Like, I doubt he eat the wolves without looking at the wolves. That'd be some like next level shit. I will say that, like, I think it technically is the correct play. Can't you see their inputs? I don't think so. I can only just like see like what his vision is. Is that an option? Is it really? Is there like a spectate thing for that? What would be game, I guess? I don't know. You can. I'll look into it because that'd be cool to have if you can. But I will say that, like, I think technically the better play is running to this final zone to kill the Lennox instead, because like, you know, the Luke's burning timer being there, right? And like, if you run to this zone, you still maybe have time to time out this Lennox, versus you'll always be able to time out the Luke. Is gonna pick up the kill there on the Lennox. Yeah, but the camera was also there, and like, I feel like that's not that hard to not see. He also like doesn't like double back or anything, which makes me think that like he definitely didn't see him. But I don't know. It's like he could have seen him there, but I also just don't know if it's like not the worst play to ignore him there. 1v1 with Luke for the final zone, though. I'm not going to accuse anyone of teaming. I'm going to assume he either didn't see it or thought killing Lennox was the better play. It is questionable, though. Keeps his passive up. He's got cameras. I don't think Luke has traps anyway. There's the transform. Walks out of the ult. He's gonna get hit by the EQ. Oh, and gets taken down by like one auto. That was super close. Maybe he pity killed them. This is a ranked game. I doubt it. Maybe in normals, but these are all ranked games that we watch. Super close fight there. Came down to basically one auto attack. Might have been able to sidestep the ult, but he kind of dashed straight into it. Yeah, it was very close. I think that game was good, though. There's a lot of things he did well. Really good adapting to his playstyle with having to go to alpha instead of the battle zone, and then he kind of just gets back on track with how he plays. You know, like we saw the hunt rotations come out. We saw him go to hospital tree. Saw him pick up the Foursquare off the call-in. Didn't win the second battle zone, but it's basically always doing something with his time, whether it's battle zone or Omega. Shows up to Wick again, even though he TP'd to the wrong zone. We won't talk about that. Really quickly before I do game 3, I'm going to be right back, and we will jump into our final game. So 1 second. All right, we're back. Do they both get second? I'm not entirely sure if that's the case. All right, final game here. Literally at the exact same time. I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever seen 2 kills at the same time. You both share the rank below? Oh, interesting. I wonder if you get LP for it still then. Because the way that love shots work when they're kind of staggered is that the person who killed second doesn't actually get LP for the kill. Oh no, sorry, the person who killed first doesn't actually get LP for the kill. Same build as last game. We are back on Death Adder again. Adapting the build though, instead of going Hotel, Pond, Avenue, Alley, we're going Hotel, Alley, Pond, Avenue, I think. I know that because Lynn killed me and Luke with a single E. Oh, okay. At the same time, we both got third instead of second. Interesting. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that's how that worked. I've also never seen 2 kills at the same time though, so I've only seen love shots. So once again with this build, we saw him go Meteorite night 1. I imagine we'll see him go Meteorite night 1 again. Kind of it for the Death Adder upgrade. Same Leanne in this lobby, so we'll see if we have the same fight over in, or wherever the meteor spawns.
Fits like a glove.
So last time we saw him head up to Alley for the hunts. We do have Luke pathing ahead of him, so not going to be able to get the hunts this game. That is going to hurt the mastery a little bit. Sees that the chickens are gone. It's going to get the leather for his boots still, but see if he adapts at all. Okay, interesting. So I think he infers that someone pathed ahead of him, heading up into Alley, and he knows that someone's going to take the hunts there. So he's opting to take the right side path to get the hunts, and I think that's a really smart play. So I think there's like there's obviously like no benefit to walking up this way, so you might as well just gamble that there's a few hunts heading up this way, and he was gonna get the wolves still. He would have gotten them regardless if he had walked this way, but those few extra hunts are always nice to grab. And I imagine we're gonna see him contest probably Alley Meteorite. Sees the Luke. Here nice and early again, has his passive moderately charged up. Going to be here for when it spawns. And it's not going to be contested by the Luke. I imagine the Luke is, yeah, he's taking the bears up there so that he can start farming his passive. Kathy not throwing out the suture. Not sure if it wasn't up or not, but isn't ending up gonna take that fight. That's a free meteorite, basically. Definitely had the opportunity to wall stun if she had it up. Still needs the mastery for the purple Death Adder, and then he can look to transition. I think that's how ECHION works. You have to be like level 6 or something. Maybe it's 7 even. Do you, oh, you need weapon skill probably to upgrade.
One less inconvenience for you.
So quick stop in school here to get the hunts. He's okay. So I don't know if I didn't say anything, but he checked this boar, right? And I think he saw the Nadine pings down here, not knowing that it's Nadine, but just seeing the pings. And I think that was enough to tell him that school or hotel is pretty much cleared of hunts. So he's gonna stay in school for the hunts, which I think is a smart play again. No Leanne at the meter, right? So we will be in time for Battle Zone this time. I guess we'll see if he goes Battle Zone or Alpha now that he has the time to actually go Battle Zone. Alpha is spawning in Factory. No one's there currently. Chapel TP, yeah, there's the attack zone. So, returning to our original game plan, he heads to the battle zone.
One bad move and you might get caught.
Felix and Isaac to deal with. This is the Felix that got the better of him in the battle zone last game. I don't think the drone charges ECHION's passive. It's gonna E in. Get some poke down. There's the transform. Ooh, that was a really good play right there. Okay, I'll talk about that in a sec. We have Isaac coming over the third party. Isn't gonna wait out the passive, just opts to raw fight him. I don't think that's... yeah. Yeah. Okay, two things in that fight real quick. First thing, if we watch how he handled the Felix fight, after he gets engaged on, he's gonna get W'd here, and then he's gonna transform. So we see the first ult come out here, and I think this is good because he's in range for it. But ECHION's ult comes back up here, and instead of like firing it off cooldown, we see him wait a little bit for the dodge to come out, and then once the dodge comes out, then he goes for the ult again. Much easier to land. Combo all your skills together. And I think right here, if you see this, because I don't think ECHION can charge on the drone, I think if you're Isaac, you just like walk back and like wait over here, right? Like you don't have to walk all the way back to your zone, especially with this was the one being destroyed. Like he came from the like the alive drone. I think you just wait for ECHION's passive. I don't think you take the fight until it like calms down. So that should be Mithril again as a reward. And we'll probably see Myth Armor. Is going to take the hunts. As we talk about, whenever you win a battle zone, you should always clear out the hunts. And because he knows that Cemetery is typically up when, or during, the hunts are up during the day, he's going to be able to get the hunts here too. And it kind of just all flows together because he needs the fabric cloth for Myth Armor. I personally love it when shit like that just kind of works out. Feels great. Hey Hawk, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Really good games the other day, Hawk. I was watching you play Marcus. I heard you're picking up Sua too.
One less inconvenience for you.
Yeah, no problem, Jinx. So we should see him go to hospital again for the tree, similar to last game. Thankfully, there's no haze in this game, so we don't get the third run back in a row. Poor haze. Yeah, I'm picking up Sua due to Marcus having a couple insta-loss matchups. Yeah. Are you struggling with the good old range characters? Sua has a few. She's definitely has more counterplay though than Marcus. She might not have any like auto lose matchups, but she has unfavorable ones at the very least. William, Rio, yeah. Even Rozzy does pretty good into Sua. I kind of like that matchup personally. The blind's not too much of a big deal. So there's Hospital Tree. And I believe last time he had a tree, he went Laurel, so maybe we'll see Laurel come out again. Both instantly win if they understand when to use the knockback, yeah. William's a tough matchup for most characters. It just sucks that like he's so easy to kill once you dive onto him. I've been seeing a lot of healing drone William in KR though. Sua's a fun character though. I really like Sua. She's also my like favorite voice actor in Eternal Return. Archery here. Probably looking for hunts. Not gonna find any here. They're not typically up at night, so maybe just wanted a safer TP in the alley. That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying Sua. Yeah, I'm gonna guess with the branch there, that's either gonna be save for Foursquare for Halo, or it's gonna be Laurel. A little poke with Leon here. He's got the bracer as well, so maybe, yeah, okay. There's the Samadhi, so it's gonna be Laurel. Dashes away from the Leon, probably just wants to get his transitions online. I don't think he... That's a lot of damage coming out quickly from Leon. Yeah, definitely doesn't want that fight. Oh, you have the voice acting set to Korean? Gotcha. I used to play in Korean. I've switched back to English since doing videos. Kind of felt like... I don't know, like, just felt like made sense. What are we doing here in Avenue? We have Laurel now. Gonna take a fight with a Cappy. This is a very underfed Cappy. Yeah, gonna get hit by everything. Just 9 mastery on day 3 is not gonna cut it.
Check if there's any alcohol.
Didn't really have to do much for that fight.
One less inconvenience for you.
It's gonna be late to Omega though because of that. Omega is in Cemetery. Or maybe he just won't go to it. Has enough credits for a Foursquare. Can just call one in. Or I guess we'll see him calling a Meteorite for Foursquare. Probably makes more sense. Yeah, 1 transition and 3 down mastery kind of isn't going to be great for an assassin. Oh, just straight calls in the Foursquare. Okay. Not even the Meteorite. What's he going to do with the second tree then? So there's auto arms. Same transitions as we've been seeing. Ops for Zen Vitality. That's really interesting. Okay, so really values these defensive stats on ECHION
One less inconvenience.
with the second tree. Doesn't even hold it for like Foursquare or anything. Which I guess makes sense, right? Like, you need to be able to stay alive to get all your damage down. ECHION fights quickly, but not over... Like, he doesn't burst. He has, like, an initial burst, but other than that, he just kind of wants to stick onto you, it seems. We're back in the alley. With night approaching, yeah, he knows that these wolves are back up. This is the same as earlier. When you walk through alley, you knew that the hunts were coming up soon, so that he can come back and take them now. Finds a meteorite on the wolf. That'll be for blade boots. He's got the healing reduction now too. Sidewinder is the burst variant. We saw a Sidewinder ECHION in the previous game. So his one pure suffering matchup is Piolo. I feel like everyone struggles on that character. Character's ridiculous. Sua, or not Sua, Piolo and Adina are just 2 characters I hate fighting in all scenarios. Doesn't matter what character. TP in the forest, or is Wick actually spawn? Yeah, Wick's actually spawning here this time, so we got the correct TP. Shadowing Wick. How strong is this Luke? He knows Luke's here, so he can't just full send onto it. That looks decently strong. Doesn't have MKB, but has got the crit. Is just gonna Shadow Wick. Tia 2 since her cooldowns are extremely low. I really like Tia. I thought I hated Tia on release, but then I started playing her more and I kind of like her.
One less inconvenience for you. You still have a long way to go.
So he's a mastery below this Luke, so I don't know if he'll take the fight with the Luke either. Yeah, kind of shies away from Wick here. Probably because he knows it's gonna walk back into Uptown. Actually, here, let me try to explain Wick real quick. So the way that Wickoline pathing works is that she'll always try to avoid red zones if she can, unless she's like spawning in one or is forced into one. She will try to also avoid walking into yellow zones if she can. It's very buggy, and I've definitely seen her walk through yellow zones and red zones. Specifically is if Avenue is red, School is red, and Temple, or not Temple. If Avenue and School are both red, and Alley and Temple are open, and she spawned Forest, she'll walk through Red Avenue to get to Alley. But because in like this instance, because Chapel and Factory are red and yellow, I'm pretty sure we're going to see her walk down here into Dock and then walk right back up into Uptown. It's like a really weird interaction with Wick. I don't know why she won't like walk all the way to the edge of Factory and then turn around, but she will, pretty sure, just U-turn right here. So that could be why he's not going to Wick. Also, it could just be like he wants these bears and try and equal back up in mastery with the rest of the lobby other than the Luke. Wick mechanics are very rough to learn at times. Hopefully that helps. It is a mutant bear, so lots of good XP there. Yeah, and Wick, there's Wick. She just walks in and turns around because Factory's yellow for some reason. I don't know why that's a thing, but you've seen her walk through like 3 red zones. It's like a weird interaction. If there's like red between the zone that she's registering to go to, she'll walk through red. But other than that, she'll try to avoid it. It's also really weird when she spawns Avenue, but Avenue's yellow. She'll like either walk to Forest and like come out this top zone, or she'll walk the Sem. So we're gonna see Luke take the Wick. So we opted for bears and XP instead. We'll see if that ends up paying off. He did get a Mithril off one of the bears, I imagine. So we're probably gonna see Myth Quiver again. This should be a TP or walk into Forest for the prep. He is checking bushes though. Oh, we're gonna see him get to the gold box. So Luke kind of misplayed a little bit. Probably went for transitions over getting to this gold box. So that is going to allow ECHION to get a gold box here. And it's another Thorns. Just calls in the Quiver prep, actually. Not even goes to Forest. So maybe we'll see him TP away. TP's in the alley. Knows that his wolves are back up because he took them last time. Magnus did get here first. I think ECHION can kind of just run him down here, though. There's the dash. There's the dash through. Kind of doesn't get the double dash. It's going to catch up to him, though. I don't think Magnus can do much in return. We're gonna see a bonk here. Yeah, there's the bonk. It's a little interesting. I think Magnus definitely can't fight this ECHION. I think eventually ECHION will catch up to Magnus, but probably not without passive. I think he's just trying to force the bike out. Yeah, he's still going for it. Q hits. No bat to dash through, though. This feels a little bit like a psycho chase, I'm not gonna lie. Catches back up. We're gonna see the bike. There's the E, and then there's the bike. Okay. So he forced the bike out. That's probably all he was trying to do. Gold blocks here in the alley. We'll probably see him go for that.
One bad move and you might get caught.
That was a little interesting. People really vary how they play against her. I've thankfully have pretty good experience fighting Suo. Moonlight Pendant here. That's gonna be a direct item to Mithril cover. I have pretty good experience fighting Suo since my entire like practice against her comes with fighting Superior constantly last season. So I like to think I'm pretty decent at the matchup. I don't always win it, but there's been a few times I've gotten the better of her. But I think Razi just kind of has a favorable matchup in the Suo. Tree of Life off the bear. Guess what? We'll see what he does with third tree. Good God, though. That's like, what? He's gotten a Mithril off bear, 2 trees off bear, and a meteorite off bear this game? Or off wolves and bears? Basically a whole inventory worth of transitions off animals. And we're gonna see another final zone forest. I don't know about you guys. I personally think that I get final zone forest more than any other zone. RNG sometimes go burr. You're absolutely correct. Some games I feel like I roll like 5 transitions off animals, and then some games I'm like struggling to get a meteorite. But I definitely feel like I get forest more than any other zone. If we do like another inventory check again, we have food, SP, traps, and no cameras. So hopefully we'll see him call in cameras soon. It's got the credits for them. Is gonna psycho. Yeah, he hates this Magnus, dude. He's gonna psycho chase. He's gonna get onto him, but I think we're gonna see him force the bike out again. There's the E. Dodges the bat skill. And there's the bike. It's poor Magnus, dude. Forest or Avenue? Funny enough, we've had both of those so far. We had Avenue game 1 and Forest game 2. And this is game 3, and we have Forest again. I think at this point, this Magnus matchup is pretty unwinnable for him. At least against the ECHION. Might be able to kill the Shukai. They look like they're fighting down there. Looks like he's winning. He probably got the wall stun. Yeah. So he kills the Shukai. He's gonna get third partied though. And that's gonna be the end of Magnus. Magnus going for placement. They usually do. They have a really good like final zone if there's a lot of people left. Huge bike accidents, really good at securing kills. They can just wall stun to like play politics, and they're tanky. So we have another 1v1. We're gonna see the Sting Burst come down. We also see the cameras now, which is good. Has the Shukai food as well. Setting up pretty good. What does this Leon have? So Leon's pretty fed too. So I think this is a fairly even fight. Doesn't want to fight on the puddle. Kind of egos in and walks on the puddle. Full combo into the wall. He's burning down. That definitely... Probably thought you could just walk into him and fight him, but definitely not. There goes his passive too. He's gonna have to double dash through probably. Oh, good dodge. Leon not wanting to burn too much timer. He's gonna play for the timer advantage. This ECHION has healing reduction with the blade boots, but he doesn't have shield reduction, which is more so what Leon has. The healing will help a little bit. This Leon does have healing reduction, which is kind of what ECHION has. I think he's trying to bait him to eat into the puddle. Just gonna get all, yeah, trying to dodge the puddle knockup. He just gets ulted into the wall. Oh, it doesn't get the double dash through either. I think he was gonna try and escape back up the top. Well played, though. We're really close. Kind of disrespected him a little bit in the final fight, but we have a win and 2 second place. Overall, though, definitely some good quality games out of Strikxer. We got a nice contrast from Frankie's game In Frankie's episode, we talked a lot about how you can prioritize mastery farming over transitions to keep up with your lobby. And I think this time we talked a lot about going for objectives and kind of sticking to your game plan and making good adaptations when you can. Finding your playstyle is like super important to do. There's one thing that I want to stress about Strikxer is that he pretty much never bit off more than he could chew, you know? A lot of these fights, like he ran away when he wasn't, like started to look like he wasn't going to win the fight. He pretty much, every fight that he did take that we watched, he won it convincingly. There wasn't really, other than the Chiara fight at the very beginning, there wasn't really any close fights. The only time like he didn't win or there was a close fight was the final zone fights, and then you're forced to fight them. So really good fight selection, really good discipline. Those are the 3 games I have for you though. If you have any questions regarding Eternal Return, objective taking, farming, I will try my best to answer them. And until then, I will show off my new just chatting screen, kind of. I don't have my model open, so let me open that up real quick. Here, I'll keep it on the Eternal Return until I get that open. What's that Leon build? Is it amp stacking or AP stacking? It's AP. Although I have seen, I think it's KR that's playing a little bit of amp Tonfa. I don't know how good it is though. My model fucking crashing the second I bring it up. All right, so this is my new just chatting screen. Kind of like it. I can also do this thing where like I can like highlight chats. They like pop up next to me. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know. Hope you enjoy it. I'm curious how to properly play the politic game, as I end up getting fucked by it a lot. I think before you came here, I touched on like ABCing. That's a big part of it in like final zones. Unfortunately, there's just characters that are much better at politicking than other characters, so to speak. If you're playing a character, like one of them, Marcus, is definitely one of them that's not great at getting politicked. Characters with lots of poke are pretty good at politicking because they can just poke someone out at random and choose like your target basically. And then once they're low enough, someone's probably going to jump in. You basically just want to make it more enticing to jump on someone else than you. And like you can kind of like discourage people. Like if you have traps, it's like hard to engage onto someone with traps. They might choose someone else. Or if you're a character with lots of dashes, you're probably not going to get jumped on versus like a character with no dashes. Maybe seeing as, yeah, but I feel like I should just full engage on whoever starts fucking with me. It's a little tough. Like if you're talking about like getting engaged on, that one's rough because it's like, it's kind of just up to the other player whether they just want to like throw their own game along with yours or not. That happens less as you climb elos. People kind of like understand that they can't make the first move. In like normal games though, that happens all the time. Is like as soon as the timer hits or someone enters the zone, someone will just send it onto somebody. You've been handshaked. Yeah. The ranged alliance is real though. If you're like a melee character and there's 2 range left, you 100% just get poked down, which is unfortunate, but it's kind of just how it is. You gotta say, like, if it's the other way around, you gotta hope like your melee brethren's gonna like send it onto the range character with you. Seriously, if a range character starts poking, I just full send it on the one poking. If it's the first move, I would be hesitant to, especially if there's other, like if there's more than like one other person. If there's like 4 or 5 people, maybe not. Actually, let me bring up an example because I have a decent example about how to like reverse politic the strong player. But for your example specifically, I think you either have to like sacrifice some timer and find a way to like have them change targets, which isn't really up to you to do. It's a little tough. Or yeah, just send it on, but like send it on to them, but don't go for the all in. Just kind of like make it look like you're going for the all in, so that if someone else comes, like you still have your escape abilities per se. Let me find this video that I did once. Way back in the, well, not way back in the day, but like I have a playlist on my channel called Eternal Returns Spectating Ranked. And in the Titan game, there was a game where I believe it was Anot was one of the weaker players in the lobby. And he's playing Piolo in this situation. Yeah, this is it here. Let me get my screen share. So I'll just play it without sound so I don't talk over it. Anot's stuck in red here, and there's a final zone scenario, and there's 8 people left alive. He has to make a risky TP into the zone, and oddly enough, I think this is against Strikxer, who was the strongest. Yeah, so funny that we're talking about Strikxer, but Strikxer has 7 kills in this lobby. He has 7 kills. I think he had Wick as well. He's clearly the strongest in the lobby. What Anot does here to stop himself getting politicked is that full view of everybody, sends it on the strongest player in the lobby. Like there's no chance he wins this fight, right? Like he's 2 transition versus 7 kill Kathy. Everyone knowing that Strikxer is the strongest player in the lobby kind of decide that they're more likely to kill Anot easier. So let's get Strikxer out of the game now. I think this is just a really good example at reverse politicking. Now, this is how bullshit Piolo is. They keeping up with 2 transitions, and no food, by the way. But it's kind of just the play of like, if there's someone that's kind of strong and there's people around, if you just send it on to them with the intention of not trying to get that kill, but just get him killed, it's not necessarily a bad play. Now, unfortunately, he does run into Chloe, and I do believe he goes down for it, but that's only because he opts into this fight. But like 3 people just dogpiled onto Strikxer and got the kill here. I think it's a pretty good example for reverse politicking. If you want spoilers, Pi is in the other zone there, and ends up just third-partying for the win, but a little anticlimactic. Basically, it would be the threat, and whoever starts poking me. Yeah, it's tough because it's ultimately gonna come down to like what your opponents are gonna do, and you can't really decide that. You can only just like choose what you can do, and most of the time it like won't make a difference. But like I said, though, some characters way better at doing it than others, so it could just be like a character diff. I think though, with the way that we're kind of going for at least final zones, I don't run into too many games where there's more than 3 people left or 4. Like, because that kind of scenario only happens when it's like split 1 and 3 or 2 and 1. Or not 2 and 1, sorry. 1 and 3 or like more than 3. Sue apparently doesn't like the political game since her E can be blocked. I also just think a lot of people hate that character. I think there's a deep hatred for Sue in the ER community. But yeah, she is like one of the few characters who doesn't have a wall dash. So if you can't make space for yourself, She typically doesn't do too well. She got a pretty good 1v1, but I don't think she has a great safe in final zone. Maybe final zone is probably fine because it's the 1v1, but she doesn't have a great safe zone. I do wish you the best of luck with Sua. Make sure you stop by Jinx. They can help you a lot with the character. That is probably going to be it for me today. I hope you... Oh my god, dude. Talking is so hard. I hope y'all enjoyed the Strikxer analysis. Hopefully we get some ranked pops this week so we can do some more of these. Fucking last week, I think Monday, Tuesday were the only days that popped. Because Wednesday... No. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were the only days that popped for solos. I don't think anything popped Thursday because low elo queued early and everyone just went on Smurfs. So we only had 3 days of ranked last week. And we have patch this week. So it's going to be another 3 day of solos, unfortunately. I appreciate you all for coming out, though. Thanks so much for stopping by. It means a lot. Really exciting stuff planned for this week. This and the next week. It's over on my community tab. So check that out if you want. There'll also be another lore quiz on Wednesday. I finally got access to quizzes on my community tab, so I don't have to run polls to do quizzes. So that'll be exciting. Missed the majority of it, but thanks. Don't worry, it'll be a video. All the VODs get turned into videos. I'll timestamp and put in the description like the different games and like the different points. And I'll probably make shorts out of the Wickeling and the ABC thing that I talked about. But thanks so much for coming out. Next week we'll be back to coaching, I believe, and I will put out the forum later this week. So see you guys then.